The Lion King. Woo! All right. They're now working on their 33rd full-length animated feature film, Pocahontas, which will feature the voice of Mel Gibson as John Smith. Also, since we are a working production center, there are many productions going on being filmed on our backlot, and today's no exception. Today they're filming some special effects on one of our largest standing sets, and hopefully our driver Kelly will be able to get us clearance to drive through that set between takes. I'll let you know a little more about that as we get closer to the set. And right now, I'd like to direct your attention to your first photo opportunity. It's high in the sky to your right. It is the symbol of the Disney-MGM Studios. It is our award-winning masterpiece, the Earful Tower. The tower stands 13 stories tall and is capped off by a set of Mickey Mouse ears. Each ear weighs over 5,000 pounds, and that translates into a hat size of 342 3/8. We know because every holiday season we cap it off with a big red stocking cap. Also off to your right, airports around the country do this Gulfstream 1 as 2, 3, 4 Mickey Mouse, but we refer to it simply as the Mouse. Walt Disney purchased this plane back in 1964 and used to fly himself and his Imagineers back and forth from California to New York during the final stages of the World's Fair. And off to your left by our production bungalows, we have Chip and Dale. Hi guys, good morning. Playing a little music for us? All right. Behind Chip and Dale, in those big buildings, a little rock and roll. In those big buildings are our production bungalows. Here we home the production crews to television series that are filming on our sets. In bungalow number 1, we have the MMC, or the Mickey Mouse Club, which is now in its 7th season. And in bungalow number 2, we have the home of the production team for Hulk Hogan's Thunder in Paradise. Off to our right, you can see a portion of our greens department. Greenery is often used to hide with cameras not supposed to see. So all of our greens are grown in portable boxes so they can be easily transported if they're needed on a set. If they're needed on an indoor soundstage, we must carefully fire each branch, twig, and leaf. Right past our greens department are some of our topiaries and some of our favorite Disney characters. Aladdin, Belle, Beast, and the Genie. Topiaries are made of moss and leaves and can take anywhere from 4 months to 10 years to fully develop. We have over 160 topiaries in the Walt Disney Resort, so keep your eyes open for those today in the park. We're now entering one of our more glamorous departments, creative costuming. In costuming, it all begins with a designer sketch, and from there our seamstresses and tailors take over. Here we use over 175,000 yards of fabric every year to create over 12,000 garments. And speaking of garments, keep your eyes open on your left for costumes actually worn by Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, Angela Bassett in What's Love Got to Do With It, Whoopi Goldberg sequin choir robe from Sister Act 2, Eldon Ryan Ratliff hockey uniform from G2 The Mighty Ducks, and some casual wear worn by the Emmy Award-winning Golden Girls that is an actual Emmy in the case of those Golden Girls costumes. All of this activity makes up the largest working wardrobe in the world. Just past costuming, we have the studio's audio, lighting, and camera department. Ranger 57 starring Wesley Snipes. That film was filmed entirely in the Orlando area. Off to your left, you can see our scenic shop. Here's where our scenic designers create and maintain all the sets that we use here at the studios. They created sets for A Wheel of Fortune, The Mickey Mouse Club, and Thunder in Paradise. Not only do we create sets in our scenic shop, the exterior of our scenic shop has been used as a movie set. In Honey, I Flipped the Kid, starring Rick Moranis, the exterior of the Sterling Laboratory was shot right here in our backlot. Rick Moranis drove that solar van right through the front doors of our scenic shop, and that solar van is one of 3 identical cars that were used in the filming of the movie. Keep your eyes open because the other 2 should be around in the park today. This green tarp is covering our underwater special effects tank for Hulk Hogan's new series, Thunder in Paradise. The underwater tank, the bottom of which has been modified to look like the ocean floor. So when we think Hulk Hogan and Chris Lemon are swimming around the ocean floor, they're really not. They're right here in our backlot. Right now we're approaching a portion of our backlot, which we call our residential street. People often come up to me and say, Patty, I was modeled after a different type of American architecture. For example, on your right, number 242 was the home to Burn in Ernest Saves Christmas, which is the first full-length feature filmed here at the Disney-MGM Studios. Also, on your left, that pink Mercedes was driven by Dolly Parton in Straight Off, and the red Cadillac was driven by Penelope Ann Miller in The Gun and Betty Lou's Handbag. Also, we do have quite a few familiar homes on our residential streets. If you look off to your left, you'll see a contemporary beige Hawaiian-style home. If you don't recognize it, I'll give you 4 hints. Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia. That's right, this house for 7 seasons was home to the Emmy Award-winning Golden Girls. To create an episode of the Golden Girls, we filmed an exterior shot out here in Orlando, spliced it together with an interior shot that was taken in the studio in Burbank, California, and all for a show that takes place in Miami. Up next, on your left, you Disney Channel subscribers may recognize this blue house as the home of Alice in the Disney Channel's Adventures in Wonderland. And across the street from Alice's house is the facade to the Golden Girls' neighbors, the Westons. This is that facade to Empty Nest, starring Richard Mulligan, Diamond Off, and my favorite, Bear the Dog, as Stripeness. Every neighborhood has their own watchdog, and ours is no exception, although he is a little exceptional. He stands 30 feet tall and he smokes a wooden pipe. He is the Bulldog Cafe from Walt Disney Pictures' The Rocketeer. This is where the flyers meet to eat. And in front of the Bulldog Cafe is the GB airplane. In the film, Howard Hughes presented this airplane to the Rocketeer, but in reality, it's just a full-size prop that never quite got off the ground. Right behind us, you can catch a glimpse of our New York City street. Savage. It was modeled there for the SR-71 Blackbird spy-plane and has been clocked on the water at speeds of over 70 miles an hour. Steven Spielberg used this tank and some of these other military-looking vehicles in his film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, starring Sean Connery and Harrison Ford. As I said, these are all props. You'll notice that the metal treads on this tank are not metal at all. They're just rubber, and that's to protect our actors and stuntmen and women. Okay, so you go from Fred Roger Rabbit. These 3 blue sedans are 3 of 7 that were used to represent the same car in different stages of destruction. Each time one was shot, hit, or blown up, a new car had to be used. This orange trolley car is also from the hit film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's actually just a big city bus that was modified to look like a trolley car. If you look at those wheels, you'll say they're not real at all. They're just fiberglass covers fitted over the real radial tires of that big city bus. Coming up next, this blue helicopter cockpit was used in Blue Thunder, starring Roy Scheider and Daniel Stern. This push cart and bobsleds were used in Cool Running, starring John Candy and Dougie Doug. And now if I can get everybody to glance across that canal, you can get a real backstage view of those beautiful residential street homes. Aren't they beautiful? But there isn't much privacy in this neighborhood. Also, you can see the architectural details stop just out of camera range, like the shingles. That's because we only build what the camera needs to see. And that's an old Hollywood production trick. It's called saving money. Also, those 2 futuristic-looking cars are from Ridley Scott's science fiction thriller, Blade Runner. The Red Coyote is from Hardcastle and McCormick. This white standing set is from the award-winning Mother Goose's Rock and Rhyme. And looks like Kelly is calling our production coordinator to see if we can get clearance into our large standing set between takes. We'll drive through our canyon, and when we get to the middle, I'll stop and I'll let you guys take some pictures, and I'll tell you some little known facts about our canyon. But just above us are platforms where production crews mount their cameras. Also, you can see this tanker truck is something similar to what you see in one of our boneyards. Although our ravine is a little bumpy and our tanker is a little big, so we couldn't drive it into place for this shot, we had to lift it up and over the canyon walls with a large crane. Also, they must be testing some effects. As I was going to say, here in our canyon, this is a special effects canyon and they have a rain effect. To create this rain effect, they use high-powered water nozzles onto which the end they threw water spout, which shoots the rain in a circular motion. Also, you'll notice, scene 1, take 2. We have 4 of us in formations. The small yellow pipes carried the gas for the fire and explosions that you saw, and the larger white pipes carried the water for that flash flood. That flash flood took place when we opened the gates to 3 large holding tanks that sent over 70,000 gallons of water thundering down the canyon towards our little shuttle. To shoot the water at us a little harder, some of it was shot through air cannons. These air cannons are so powerful that if we took one to New York City and stuck a basketball in it, we could shoot that basketball up and over the top of the Empire State Building. The earthquake you felt was created by hydraulic shaker tables that were placed underneath our shuttle. And Catastrophe Canyon was originally created with the help of a Hollywood special effects team. What seemed like an out-of-control disaster was actually a safe, computerized sequence of events that can be reset and recycled in just 3.5 minutes, which is just enough time for another shuttle load of victims to come on through. Visitors to come on through. And now from the street, the canyons of California steel structures covered with wire mesh and some plywood, fiberglass, and cement. These were built with Florida weather in mind and can withstand hurricane winds of up to 100 miles an hour. Also, if you look a little further down our New York City street, you can see there's some action going on. It'll be even more so later on today when we have our New York City street party, which goes every day from 4 o'clock to park closed. We have food, games, fun, virtual reality, and Velcro suits. As you can see, our stage is beginning to be set up for our live entertainment. Every day at 5:30, we have a New York City ticker tape parade right here in Orlando, so you don't want to miss that. This mechanical monster is from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's Judge Doom's Toontown Ditmobile that he used to try to get all the tunes at the end of the film. And speaking of the end, we are coming up on the end of our tour, but we are coming up on the beginning of our studio showcase, where you can see costumes actually worn by Warren Beatty and Madonna and Dick Tracy, and the award winner Tim Allen's tool belt from Home Improvement.